Hi guys, welcome back to Learn Golf with Cassie. Today we're at the driving range again. We're going to be doing a gapping video because we've played 3 rounds of golf already since lockdown, and we figured out what the problems are, so we're going to be working on the swing and then doing the gapping. So let's get into it.
Okay, thanks Cassie. Yeah, we got back from lockdown. We've had a couple of rounds of golf. We've just about sorted out what was going wrong. So I'm going to tell you what Cassie was doing. You've seen the course vlogs. If you haven't, go and check them out. We'll be talking a little bit about the backswing getting very flat, and then as she's coming around, she ends up having to throw the club around her body rather than using the momentum and gravity to swing through. And she was kind of trying to flip the hands, so everything was going way left and was causing a lot of problem. So what we did to fix that, this left shoulder, rather than feeling it turning and rotating, the goal was to feel the shoulder going downwards. The first move is the shoulder feeling like it's going downwards, so the club then comes up like this. As the rotation comes, it gets back to its normal plane, and we've got a much better sort of posture. Rather than being too flat and parallel with the ground, we've now got that left shoulder coming down. So that brings the swing a little bit more upright and removes that dangerous flat swing. And the other thing that we found that Cassie was doing, and you're going to find, is that she was sort of jumping up at the ball. So she was hitting it on the bottom groove, hitting low, thin ones, not finding the centre of the club. So the other thing we were trying to get today was her to really feel like she's going down into that left heel for the trigger, and then through, and it wasn't until then that she could come up. So she'd been kind of like turning, but there'd been no, aggressive downward play into the ball. With those two things, we've managed to keep the ball straight, and we can then look at Cassie's gapping for the 8-iron, the 7-iron and the hybrid, so she's got an idea about what the distances are for each of those clubs, and we'll be using the Rapsodo Launch Monitor for that. So just as a demonstration, her left shoulder feels like the first move is the left shoulder going down, and then the second move is going into that heel. Always start with crouching down a little bit and then swinging through. That's my 7-iron, it's about 155. Let's see how Cassie does. Coming down and then getting into the left heel. So that was the skinny one. There's our base. And there we've got the height, baby draw. Nice, let's see it from face on. Oh, that's smashed. That's probably the best one we've had so far.
Yeah.
No, I want you to really feel like you're going down into that hill. You're going downward and then the club's swinging through. Okay, still a tiny bit skinny, but they're all flying now. That was probably bottom groove. I want you going downward into that left heel. There it is. So we've got the height, the straightness. I mean, Cassie, compare that to the first 3 rounds back from lockdown. How straight are those?
So much better, finally happy with it.
Did any go left?
No.
Okay, let's do the gapping then, and let's analyze the data. Okay, so Cassie basically took about 10 shots of for each club, for the 8-iron, 7-iron and 5 hybrid. We're trying to get an idea of the distance. Now we've got on this here, my app here, if I press this session, we can actually see the distribution of shots. The red ones were the 8-irons, then the pink 7-irons and the hybrid and go into that app there. You can see in detail the dispersion. One of the things we were really happy with today, and what we'd worked on earlier in the video, is the fact that nothing much went left. We have eradicated the hook for the moment. A little bit to the right, but that's all good. We want to try and look at the dispersion from shortest to longest and try and get that gap a lot smaller. So this is really just the first session on gapping, but you can see the pink dots, the 7-iron. We had some just over 100, right up to 125. That's a big range. And the 8-iron, we had those 8-irons which are far along in the 150 were the ones that I actually took. I took 3 or 4 shots as well. So Cassie was around the 100 mark. The reason why the 8-iron says 111 is because of those ones that I took. And I'll get rid of those in a minute. So we go back to the you can actually also see the height as well and the dispersion. This is really quite awesome, the tracer data that we can get from this. So those highest ones, the furthest ones, those are me hitting 8-iron in the middle of Cassie's set. So we'll get rid of those in a second. But if we go and look at the 8-iron, just for an example, to look at the data and what it tells us with Cassie's swing. So we've got her 8-iron, the first shot, she smashed it. You can see the smash factor was 1.45. That's what we're looking for with pretty much every iron. She hit it. Her club speed was only 61. This is interesting. Ball speed 88. And the distance 108. We can go in and look at that shot, and she's got nice launch angle, 16 degrees. She's getting the height. It was a tiny bit of push. If we go back into there, we can see it was right 6.4 degrees. So by the time it landed, it was about 10 yards to the right. If we look at the one above, shot number 2 and shot number 3, you can see the smash factor is only 1.28, 1.26. Vast difference in the distance. Now, number 2, again, a decent launch angle, 15.4, and the actual speed of the club was 11 miles per hour faster than the first one. But because the smash factor was down to 1.26, the actual difference in the shot was only 4 yards. I mean, this was a good shot. It was a little bit bottom groove, so that's why it wasn't much in the way of smash factor. And if we look at the third shot, we can see that the launch angle is only 7.6 degrees, a really low shot, and that makes a massive difference to the distance. So even though the speed, 92 ball speed, is basically the same as the previous shot, 90, and the club speed was 72 on both, there's it's almost 10, there's 18 yards difference just because of the launch there. And so you can see how the launch angles work. The ones who are around the 15 degrees were flying out to about 110. And there's another one here with 1.46, number 5. 1.46 was another good smash factor. So she, another 110 yards. So that's kind of what we're, during the work on gapping, we want to remove the kind of low flying ones and the very low. I mean, this one here, number 1.03, that means she barely hit the ball, to be quite honest, barely hit the ball in the middle of the club. We can actually see, that's me. I was showing her what it looks like if you don't hit the ball with the main part of the club, and that was, so the actual distance of there, when you have such a low smash factor, is awful. Now, Club speed almost the same on number 10. Club speed's 81 against 79, but ball speed makes a difference because the smash factor's increased. This was me showing her how if you get a bit better smash factor, the results are better. And then I also did another couple here. This one was the best smash factor, 1.42. With a slower club head speed, I got higher ball speed and long and pretty much basically the same length. So this is probably my best strike, but I pushed that really to the right. So I was showing Cassie the difference, and I'm gonna remove these because otherwise it distorts her data. So I'm gonna remove my shots from here, and this one as well. Now the data sets are a bit more normal. You can see 8-iron 101, 7-iron 110, and her hybrid 130. That's more normal. You can see the gapping now. Still a couple short, couple long. We want to get that a bit better. Same with the 7-iron. There's about 20 yards in difference between good and bad. Hybrid, again, we want to try and make that a little bit closer. So this is the advantage of having this data. We can see what happened to make a shorter ball. Let's see if I can choose one here. And we can see the height making a big difference. The lower ones don't fly as far. We all basically know this sort of stuff, but to see the data and to find out which shots were the ones that caused this are important. The average data smash factor as we went up to the hybrid, look at this, 1.4515. She started hitting the ball much better with the hybrid. Smash factor with 7-iron, not bad. There was one really low one, that was a complete duff. I removed that, data is not really appropriate. And for the 8-iron, the smash factor was about 130. So as we got going with the clubs and played more shots, she actually got better with the smash factor, so it made the gapping a little bit more realistic. I would say the 8-iron should be around 110, 7-iron about 120. We'll do this again in the future to try and get the gapping better and to get the set of data with similar smash factor and also similar launch angles and similar ball speeds and similar club speeds to see what the difference is and trying to work out what her ideal speed is when she goes too fast or when she goes slower. Where's her best area? I'm going to take you back to Cassie now. That's interesting stuff from our perspective.
As you can see, the gapping with the Rapsodo is really useful and interesting. It gives you all of the kind of measurements that you need to be able to do your gapping. So we're going to be specifically focusing on the smash factor and like the launch angle and that sort of thing. And it's just really good for accurately knowing exactly your distance, the direction, and all the sort of details about that. So you'll be seeing a lot more of that in the future. So thanks for watching this video, guys. We hope you enjoy it. Click the thumbs up button and subscribe. Goodbye.